Okay, we have all been there. You flush the toilet, and your heart just sinks as you watch the water level start to rise instead of fall. Yep, a clogged toilet. It's got to be one of the most common and, let's be honest, most dreaded problems you can have at home. It's messy, it's a pain, and it always seems to happen at the absolute worst time. But don't you worry, because in this explainer, we're going to break down how to stop them, how to fix them, and when it's time to call for backup.
You know that sound, that slow, gurgling rise of water instead of that clean, satisfying whoosh. It's a moment of pure panic, right? But what is actually happening down there in the pipes? And more importantly, what's your very first move? Well, let's start by understanding what we're up against. Because really, before you can solve the problem, you gotta know the problem. So let's take a quick look at the anatomy of a clog, what it actually is, and where it comes from. So here's the thing about a clog. It's not usually a one-time event. It's an accumulation. Think of it like a traffic jam in your pipes. It can build up slowly over time, maybe from a little too much toilet paper day after day, or it can happen all at once when something gets flushed that was never, ever meant to go down a drain.
Now, the culprits usually fall into one of two camps. First, you've got the built-in stuff, structural issues, Things like older plumbing systems that have seen better days, or even some of the early low-flow toilets that just don't have enough oomph in their flush. And then there's the stuff we do, like using way too much toilet paper, or flushing things that have no business being in a pipe. I'm looking at you, so-called flushable wipes. Spoiler alert, they're not, and they are a plumber's nightmare.
Which brings us to the most powerful tool you have, prevention. Seriously, being proactive is always going to be less stressful and a whole lot cheaper than dealing with a massive backup later. So what does a good defense actually look like?
Okay, here it is, the golden rule of plumbing. Your toilet is not a trash can. The list of what is okay to flush is super short. It's human waste and a reasonable amount of toilet paper. That's it. Full stop. Everything else you see here, it all belongs in the garbage. Because things like wipes and paper towels, they just don't break down. And sooner or later, they will team up to create one stubborn blockage.
So, what are some simple, proactive steps you can take? Well, besides just being mindful of how much toilet paper you're using, a simple, clear sign can work wonders, especially if you have guests over. And for property owners, things like regular maintenance checks and budgeting for future plumbing upgrades, well, those are just key to preventing future headaches for everyone. All right, so prevention failed. You've got a clog. It happens to the best of us. This next part is your hands-on guide. We're going to walk through how to take action and clear that blockage yourself safely and effectively. First things first, you need the right tool for the job. Make sure you have a flange plunger. That's the one with the extra little flap on the end. It's designed specifically to get a super tight seal in the toilet drain. A few strong pushes and pulls should use water pressure to knock that clog loose. If that doesn't work after a few tries, it's time to bring out the toilet auger, sometimes called a snake, to go in there and physically break up whatever's stuck. Now, I have to give you a really important warning here. It can be so tempting to just pour a bottle of chemical drain cleaner down there and hope for the best. Please, don't do it. Those cleaners are incredibly corrosive. They can eat away at your pipes and are especially bad for septic systems. In the long run, they can cause way more expensive problems than they solve. And before you start any of this, you've got to take some precautions. The very first thing you should do, before you even pick up the plunger, is turn off the water supply. There's usually a small valve on the wall right behind the toilet. This one little step can save you from a disastrous overflow. Oh, and of course, make sure to protect yourself with gloves and maybe some eyewear. Okay, you've tried the plunger, you've tried the auger, and that clog is just not budging. This is that crucial moment where you have to know your limits. So let's talk about the signs that tell you it's time to put down the tools and pick up the phone. So, you've really given it your best shot, but you're still stuck. The big question now is, are you just dealing with a really stubborn clog, or is this a symptom of a much bigger problem hiding deeper in your plumbing? These are the red flags you just can't ignore. If the same toilet keeps backing up over and over again, or if you start noticing that other drains in your house are slow, like the bathroom sink or the shower, that is a massive signal. It means this isn't just one toilet's problem anymore. It's pointing to a deeper issue in your main plumbing line. And what could those deeper issues be? Well, it could be something like a blocked vent stack on your roof, which messes with the air pressure your whole system needs to drain properly. Or it could be something way more serious, like tree roots crushing your main sewer line outside, or even a collapsed pipe. And let me be clear, these are not DIY jobs. They require a professional with some pretty specialized equipment to figure out what's going on and fix it. So finally, let's just zoom out and take a look at the long-term view.
For property managers, or really for anyone who wants to keep their plumbing healthy, it's all about having a strategy, not just reacting to one emergency after another.
Yeah, for anyone managing a property, a long-term game plan is absolutely key. Documenting clogs can help you spot patterns. Is it always happening in the same unit? Does it pop up at a certain time of year? Clear communication with residents and routine inspections can totally shift your approach from being reactive to proactive, and that saves everyone a lot of time, money, and stress.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. A clog isn't just an inconvenience. It's really a message from your plumbing system. The question is, are you just going to fix the immediate problem, or are you going to listen to what your pipes might be trying to tell you about their overall health?